Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgiman and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Spice and Wolf episode 5. So, what did I think about this week's episode? Honestly, I thought this week's episode was really good because it really showcased how smart this show can be. Because it really, like I said, it really demonstrated, Lauren's intelligence as a merchant and just how he's able to just come on the go, on the fly, negotiating and making these big deals for stuff that he wants, in this case, bringing Holo back and making sure that, she's safe, because like I said, that was his number one priority. He wanted to make sure that she's safe, and in this week's episode, you get to see a very elaborate scheme that he comes up with to rescue her, which I thought it was really great. Like, it was really cool to see. Now, before I go any further with this week's episode, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my anime and manga, as well as all my Spice and Wolf content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's episode. So in this week's episode, we start off where we left off last time, which is pretty much Lawrence and the guy from the Million trading company. They're talking and trying to figure a way to rescue Holo, because they're both they realize they have their hands tied up, because they know that they can't really get too involved, because otherwise everything will be thrown out the window. Their whole entire plan will be crumbling, and the profits will be gone, because if they catch on what they're doing, they can report them to the church, and then the church can get in trouble. They can get in trouble because of the church, and then the Million company will be just like their lamb. So it was a lot of calculating moves that they did, and what ends up happening is, throughout it all, Lawrence and the guy, they start, thinking about, okay, we got to come up with a scheme, and they eventually come with this very elaborate plan where, they're going to rescue Holo, but at the same time, because so how it's going to play out is that the Million guy is going to go and send out an estimate offer to the count of this kingdom that is, trying to, make this currency with the silver tranny coin, and he's going to try to make him, fall for his charade, in the sense that, oh, this will be the estimate of what we'll give him if he doesn't pursue with any of this. So while all that is happening, he tells, Lawrence asks, how long will that take? It's it'll take probably 2 days. So Lawrence has to be out of the public eye for 2 days, and what he does is he needs to get out of town. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna have Lawrence ride this caravan, this little horse riding thing. I think that's what they're called, caravans. But what he's gonna be riding it, and then when he once they get to a certain point, they're gonna lift this this rock from the sidewalk, just pretty much the rock sidewalks, and they're gonna go sneak in, just like you've seen in the movies or in shows or anything like that. They're gonna go in the tunnels, and Lawrence is gonna go to another destination, and then he's gonna have to use the password that they gave him to clarify that's him, and then that's how they'll get Holo and pretty much rescue her. And that's pretty much how it plays out. Lawrence gets in there, he talks to this guy, it's very friendly, he's like, hey, I'm vouching for you guys, hopefully everything goes great. And he eventually goes in the tunnels, and at first he's very frightened, because he's like, I would be too, you're running for your life, you're lost down there, and you think to yourself, maybe I got compromised. And he eventually gets to the destination, and his legs are shaking. He's like, oh my god, that's how scared he is. And what happens is, he gets there, he says the password, eventually they raise the thing, and you see from the other end who shows up? Holo. And she does not look happy. She has this very mean mug. And he eventually throws the money that they won, their profit margins, and it's gonna be it was 4 bags. 2 of them are for Lawrence, and then 2 of them are for the Million trading company, I believe. And what they do is that they start getting away, and they get back to the caravan from another checkpoint, the original one where the first checkpoint where Lawrence dropped. They gotta go back there. They get up there. They get back in the caravan, and now they're just waiting to be sent to the destination they're supposed to go, which is another tunnel system, I believe, and that will be their last way to get out of here. And how the episode plays out is pretty much, the rest, for the majority of the episode towards the end, it's just Lawrence and Holo, riding this caravan, and it's very it's nice character development in between these two and their chemistry, because they're just kind of well, it's more like Holo is at odds with Lawrence at the time, because she's very upset that he did not, barge in and save her like a man, as she says. And Lawrence is like, well, I'm glad to see you too. Because you gotta remember, Holo is very old-fashioned. I mean, she's a goddess. She's been around for so long, and to her, what a brave man would do is just fight up there and go, try to step up and defeat, everybody and take her like a princess. And that was not gonna happen, because Lawrence is not that capable. He's not built like that. My man is he's very good at scheming and calculating all these plans and making them come to fruition, but he's not gonna do any of that extra stuff. And eventually, Lawrence and her have like a little bicker with each other. And like I said, he was like, oh, it's nice seeing you too. And she seems a little down, and the reason she seems down is because we find out who the person was that was in the hoodie in the last episode, which was Lawrence's friend Yari from the village, from the beginning of the show. And she's like crying, and she's like, you know what, I thought that, like, he said my name, like, I'm the Hollow of the Wise Wolf, and I cried because I was happy that, as pathetic as it sounds, that people still remember my tale. And it was sad. But then, like, I was kind of happy, which is pathetic. But then what he said afterwards is that he doesn't need me anymore. They'll go with the church, and, this old ways will be done, and they'll burn me at the stake kind of thing. And it's very sad. Hollow's very emotional about it. And thankfully, Lawrence is there as a gentleman as he is, and gives her a handkerchief to wipe her tears. And Hollow's just like, hey, I'm just glad you're safe. I mean, Lawrence is like, I'm just glad you're safe. And, don't worry about it. I got you. And pretty much, what does Hollow respond with? She like guts him, like she punches him in the gut, and she's like, just so you know, don't think like you're like, this is the second time you make me cry. I don't openly talk to people like this in daily, so you should be very proudly. It's been centuries or thousands of years since I've talked to somebody like in a one-on-one situation where I spill my guts and cry, so be very fortunate. All right. And then Lawrence is like, all right, I get it, like, but you know what, don't come at me like that. And he's just like, because she's trying to make it seem like, oh, he was like how can I put this, she's making it out to be like he was a bird and he's an idiot. And Lawrence is like, okay, you know what, just so you know, I'm doing it all for the money. I wasn't doing it because you're cute or anything. And Hollow's like, what? And then he's like, I got caught. Like, he's just kind of like, oh man. And Hollow's like, yeah, I am cute, huh? And then, like, it's like, she's like, you know what, man can't resist my charm. I mean, when I was in that church, they were trying to, like, they kept glazing at me. And then I told them, hey, if you keep looking at me like that, I'm gonna bite you down there. And yeah, I'm not trying to do that. So yeah, just very strong character by Hollow. She's very, she's a little tsundere, but she's the tsunderes we like, right? But what happens is, towards the end of the episode, we see pretty much that as they're running away, we see that, it seems like their plan has been compromised, because in the tunnels, they see the people that they're on the run from, they started looking under, like, they lift the rock, and they seem to be compromised. Now, before this scene plays out, there's a nice little scene earlier where they are in the tunnels. They finally reached the destination. Hollow and Lawrence are down there, and she holds his hand, and then she's like, you're cute, kind of. And Lawrence is like, yeah, you're cute too. And it's like, a little bit bonding moments, which is sweet. It's very cute. But like I said, the cuteness of the episode and kind of becomes more dire when we see that it seems like they're being followed now, because we see that the Yare's crew, like his little caravan, they're checking under by lifting rocks from the sidewalk to see if they can, like, if they see where Lawrence and his crew are. So it seems like they're on the run now. Lawrence and Hollow are gonna be on the run, and they gotta get out of here, because they can't be affording to be in this situation, because now they have people chasing after them, and they are not gonna just throw them in jail. They're gonna kill them. So yeah, overall, this episode was really, really good, and I've been enjoying this adaptation up to this point very, very much. And on a side note, a very interesting side note, I actually met the VA of Lawrence, the English dub voice actor, which is J. Michael Tain. I met him over in a con over the weekend. Very cool guy. I was cosplaying as Okube from Steins Gate, for any fans out there. So it was really cool. I was doing poses and everything. So very nice guy. Just wanted to throw it in just to be like, because I know the dub is happening right now, because I'm watching it as well. So I get to see Spice and Wolf pretty much twice as it's going. I get to watch the sub, and then when the dub episodes come out, I'm watching them as they come too, because I can't get enough Spice and Wolf, and especially with the English stuff, really, really good English stuff. So, yeah. But on that side note, and finishing all of that, I think the episode was fantastic, and I can't wait to see how they get out of this, because now we're on the run, and it's going to be pretty interesting going from here. Now, with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's episode? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Spice and Wolf, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.